Hello everyone. Today, I will describe how to use the MiniSky Plus Protocol machine. In general, the system consists of a handheld computer, a machine, and a drive unit. The drive unit is connected to the system via an Ethernet port, and here are the power supply input and the power on/off switch. All other features are the same as those of the MiniSky machine. After starting the computer, we need to make the required connections. We connect the Ethernet input to our computer using these cables, and we power it on switching it to the position of 1. We start the software by double-clicking on the MiniSky Plus HMI logo. The software has two modes, the manual mode and the program mode. First of all, I will describe the manual mode. Here are the forward, backward, and stop buttons. You can get all the necessary values here. In order to start the program, the air inlet needs to be opened and the pressurized air needs to be supplied to the motor. As you can see here, the pressure to be supplied to the motor is 6.6 bar. The microduct has no pressure yet, and all the other values are 0. When I press the forward button here, the motor will run forward. When I press the stop button and then press the backward button, it will run backward. As you can see, we have a length measure and a speed counter. We can observe the change in the figures with the progress of the cable. In other words, we can perform the forward, backward, and stop operations manually in manual mode. Shortly, you can control the machine manually from the manual mode. To control the speed of the motor, first, we should pull up the cover on the conditioner and then turn it to the right or left. Thus we can increase and decrease the power of the motor. Here, as you can see, the extra barometer to check motor speed pressure quickly. It is very important that the motor is lubricated sufficiently while the machine is running. If you do not want your motor performance to decrease, be sure that the motor gets enough oil while it is running. You can increase or decrease the oil pressure by turning it to the right or left by using a screwdriver. This switch operates independently of the system and sends air directly to the motor. You can use this option if you do not want to receive a report. Now, I am going to describe the program mode. We first need to turn on our power unit to be able to start the program mode. After powering on, we need to supply the required air pressure to the motor. The current air pressure of the motor is about 7 bar. Lubrication of the motor is also important. As you can see, you can adjust the lubrication to 15 to 20 drops per minute by turning it to the right and left using a screwdriver. This will improve the performance of your motor. Then, I double-click on the HMI logo again. Then, I press the program mode button. Here, we can see the parameters that we saved before, and the list extends downwards. You can change the values as you wish. You can save these values after entering them once. You can change the values as you wish. You can save these values after entering them once. You do not need to enter the values each time by pressing the Save button after entering the value here once. As can be seen here, I can automatically select and edit the job records I have previously entered. As you can see, there are several details such as building number, company name, street number, name of the operator, and compressor details below. You can select with one click whether you use a separator or not, or whether you use an aftercooler or not. Here, you can enter the details of the microduct you use. Then, we enter the cable parameters. The values of the cable parameters such as the core number, type, thickness, and name of the manufacturer are entered here. In the next option, we enter the value of the end measure. For example, if you will blow 1 kilometer of cable, you should enter 1050 or 1100. If the distance is longer than 1000 meters, it may be difficult to blow again when the machine stops after blowing 1000 meters of cable. So we can enter 50 or 100 meters over that value. For the moment, assume that we enter 150 meters for a distance of 130 meters. When it reaches 150 meters, the machine will stop automatically. When I press the next button, all the values are displayed, and the machine will stop after blowing 150 meters of cable. Other values are still 0. I just see that the pressure is 6.6 bar on the motor since the air supply is turned on now. When I press the start button, the motor will start quickly. Therefore, we need to reduce the air pressure from 6.6 bar to 0 from here. Since the machine starts running all over quickly, we should turn this until the pressure becomes 0. Therefore, we need to bring the pressure to 0. Here, you can see that the pressure is declining. I need to turn it a little much. As you can see, the pressure is declining now. I will turn it on until the pressure becomes 0. It has dropped 1 bar, and now it is 0. Next, I will connect the microduct. I laid the cable between the belts properly. Of course, choosing the right belt is very important. You can adjust the cable thickness by looking at the belt groove. If you choose a large belt to use with a thin cable, this blowing process becomes hard. Another thing you should pay attention to here is that you need to adjust the track belt pressure properly. If you apply higher values of pressure, the motor will be overloaded. As a result, you will experience poor motor performance. We have explained these issues in detail in the video of the MiniSky user manual. You can watch that video. I am going to release it now. We see the length measure here. This measure automatically indicates how many meters of cable are blown per minute. After making all the adjustments, that is, passing the cable through the belt, driving 2 meters of it into the microduct manually, then tightening our belt sufficiently, we can press the start button to power on the motor and start the cable blowing process. When I press the start button here, you will hear a click. Now, the system begins to record the values. The pressure is 1.8 bar now. I am slowly raising the pressure. I am doing the opposite of what I just did. You can see the belts moving. We can speed up the blowing process with the progress of the distance. The initial values have been generated. In other words, the cable blowing process has begun. As you turn it clockwise, you can observe the increase in the motor's speed. When it reached 150 meters, it stopped automatically. As you can see, the recorded values of the length, the speed and RPM, the percentage of progress, motor pressure, motor power, micro duct pressure, and the date are displayed. To retrieve the data in the memory, we must first press the stop button. You cannot receive a report if you do not press the stop button. Now, we can export the saved values to a PDF file. To generate the report as a PDF file, you should press stop and then the report button. The system asks for the directory where the report will be exported. After selecting the target directory, we can give a name to the file and press save to save the report. As you can see, the report was generated here. To open the report, I double-click on it. In the report, you can see all the values you entered at the beginning, the graphical representation of the values, as well as the numerical values in a tabular form. Finally, we blew 150 meters of cable and exported all the numerical values to this report. Now, we can exit from the software. After exiting, you can print out the report using a printer or send it to other devices via Bluetooth or email. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, please send email to info@skyfibertech.com.